everyone. This is our It's Obsolete here with our latest edition of Shoot the Shit, and I'm here with Valkyrie Grinder
Hello.
and with Ring Leader 064.
The one that motherfucking only.
Yes,
See, I don't do the long drawn out. When only. I just cut straight to the choice.
yes. And it's the three of us here. We're a few short, but nonetheless, we're still gonna get on with the show. And this is uh, our most up-to-date Shoot the Shit following our 7 days. I guess the season finale or conclusion of our 7 days stream. Um, So yes, as you can see, as Espionage DB7, he's not here right now, and I guess just to go ahead and clear the air with everything that would happen there. I guess he kind of took it upon himself to take a little risk in regards to our 7 day streams. Seemed like they just kind of wanted to spice things up and try and do a little something different with creativity, and didn't quite pan out the way I guess it was envisioned. And but
Story short, he pissed a bunch of people off. He pissed me off to an extent. He made Valkyrie mad. And
He didn't make me mad, first
yes,
off.
at first, when you realized
I've,
that he destroyed your bed, and then it was like hit your farm up, and you're like, oh my
but he
god.
didn't. And first off, I want to make this clear. I have no hard feelings against S. He's apologized. He's did what he had to, what he thought was best. So there's no hard feelings. And when he talked to me after the stream, like, we knew this was coming, but just not as drastically as what had happened. But I have no hard, and I
There
miss
was
to
a
do.
there was a different set of idea of what was going to happen with all that. Uh,
yeah,
but the thing was is that he took it to a level and then went past that level. And then, throwing a lot of stuff into the public, which really shouldn't have been said because it just makes you
And
look
he
like
apologized for it,
yes,
and
I
he
know,
feels
but
bad for it.
I'm
yeah,
And
covering
we
all
don't
of these.
need to keep
I'm
bringing
covering all
it
these
to
details
light.
for who didn't see, just in case they weren't aware.
and things were done, stuff was said, and we're all just kind of moving past it. And he feels really bad about everything, and he's just kind of said his piece, and but
He's taking a break. Decided
yes,
to take a break.
so he just needs to kind of sit on the sidelines for a little bit, and we're all still just kind of moving on, and
Hmm.
he'll make his return at but right now he's just kind of taking a break, and that again that kind of concluded the 7 days for now. So but that's no hard feelings. We're just ready to,
We love you, SB, and we can't wait to have you back
yes, definitely. So we'll get back to the regular shenanigans and whatnot.
and settle up. Ha ha ha. Sorry.
Uh,
So now that we've covered that stuff, so moving forward, we're going to be doing things a little bit more differently. Uh, we had a conversation about this subject in question this past Wednesday. Um, we're gonna be moving more towards to to Twitch in general for all streaming, regardless of what the platform we're doing it on, PlayStation, PC, or whatever. Uh, we're gonna be moving away from YouTube altogether as a result, except for recorded content like shit shits or supercuts or anything of that nature. So, if anything, look forward to seeing us more on Twitch. We'll be able to interact a lot more with the Monotrons and stuff like that.
yeah,
And like me personally, I feel like it's just a better solution for our streaming needs anyway. And I
yeah,
would like to definitely see us grow in that way.
definitely. See what how we'll move forward with Twitch with the live streams. YouTube's still gonna have a home and a place for us. As Ring said, we'll still try to do uh give or take Fallback Fridays, shoot the shit. So any of our other recorded content definitely still gonna go up into YouTube, especially if we're gonna try to do the dual streams. I know we have some plans for that down the road, where we're gonna still try to have some dual streams for both YouTube as well as Twitch. So that should be fun. Um,
That was successful, I think. So I like the fact that we're still doing that.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And I know with moving forward, I know we're gonna basically kind of shelve 7 days for temporarily for now, and uh, I believe moving forward, I think with like Tuesday and Thursday, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take another crack at the Division 2, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna start streaming the Division Two probably this coming Tuesday. Uh, I feel like that's be a very entertaining game in general. We've seen it before, but not to such a great extent. So we should be having a good time with that.
Yes, and I've loved the first one. I played most of the second one on PS4. I have it for the PC. Haven't quite played a whole lot on it, but I really like the game. I keep saying it's beautifully ugly, just how well the graphics are, and just the detail in the aftermath, I guess. But
Right.
that should definitely be a fun game for us to revisit this Tuesday. So stay tuned for that.
You
And
know that there's I think that you mentioned that there's an upcoming DLC for that game as well.
yes,
And
trying to double check that real quick.
yeah, so folks, if you really would enjoy it, if you would come at least watch us, enjoy us while I play a game. I have myself had advanced pretty far, but it should be at the point where Val and Obs are playing catch up. So we won't be doing any necessarily end game stuff yet, but we are looking forward to a good time.
And
Yes.
also, um, we're still doing our October festivities too. Our Oddity Interests. That's still
Yes.
going on, and I'm super excited about that because one, it's getting closer towards where it's gonna be more spooky. Also, just I love October and all together, but just what we had planned in October, it's just there's just so much, and I'm so excited to be able to share it with y'all.
Yes.
Right.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Again, there's gonna be some live streams with the different games we have planned, whether it's individually, as a group. We're gonna do the dual screens, the streaming, as well as we're gonna play any recorded content. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun with that, and I believe we're also still gonna have that art movie night as well. Was the
The House on the Haunted Hill.
yes, the original one, right?
Yes, yes, I'm so excited about that too.
So yes, be sure to stay tuned. In October right now, we're pretty much kind of getting ready, gearing up for that, as well as sticking tuned with the Division 2, as well as some other games I'm gonna have in store for you as well throughout the month of September. Uh,
One game I want to shine light on is what you may see us be playing Among Us. Apparently, that is a real new game-ish game that has gotten really a lot of attention in the past couple weeks.
Even our
So
8-year-olds into it.
we'll be diving into that one as well.
yes. So stay tuned. Yes, we still gonna have some fun. Gonna be checking out different games, and let's see here. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't know much too much about Among Us, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Uh,
Mhm.
let's move on to the hardware news
Yes.
in the gaming world. So let's start off first with the Pocket Xbox. I'm gonna call it that, the Pocket Xbox, which runs for $299. It's a very miniaturized version of the Xbox. Was it S series or whatever the hell the newest one's called?
Yes.
And that was kind of sort of came out of the field. I'm not sure how it's different from the traditional Xbox, but it looks like it's more meant to be like an entry model to for those who are not quite afford, the premium paid kidney shit. But that is a very interesting thing. Also, we have some very funny news in a great sense. Okay, so a couple of years ago, about a year or two ago,
Mm,
Nvidia had revealed the RTX 2080i series,
mhm.
which was a very, from what I understand, a very powerful graphics card that was meant to be like one of their top end cards.
Yeah.
Basically, if you want the lights to shine ever so glisteningly off, what's her face's Lara Croft's tits, then you would get that graphics card, basically. But something very interesting happened earlier this month. So Nvidia had an announcement that they were releasing a new graphics card called the RTX 3080 series.
Mm.
The RTX 3080 series has pretty much the same performance as the 2080, except at a lower price point. The 3080 is actually priced at $600, $600, right? While the 2080 was priced at $1,200.
Damn.
Now, the internet's kind of laughing at the 2880 crowd because they're the early adopters, you could say, because the 28 was the newest of Nvidia's current gen at the time.
Mm.
Imagine people blowing $1,200 on a graphics card that can do so much, right? Then the next fucking year, Nvidia releases RTX 3080 series, which has the same capabilities as the 2080, except half the fucking price point.
Damn.
For those out there that had just bought the 2080 series just before the announcement, I feel sorry for y'all. But at the same time, I'm gonna laugh. It's fucking hilarious. That's why you're not. Okay, so as a personal rule, I always buy previous gen material. I have a Ryzen 5 2600,
Mm.
an RX 580, and a okay motherboard and 16 gigs of RAM. And it was relatively, but those are tested models that you know what you're getting. They're still up to spec. You don't have to worry about bleeding edge shit. If you're a bleeding edge adopter, you're shooting yourself in the foot because Nvidia just proved that you should not be a early adopter of hardware.
Did they say like what was such like a technological leap that this thing is coming out to be a fraction of the price of the original or the previous graphics card, or is it just like boom?
So the RTX 3080 is, how can I say this? It it's a big leap in technology, but the thing that is great about it is just the fact that it delivers more power at half the price, quite literally.
Yeah.
Uh, you gain one or two rays. Some of y'all have probably seen the all the meme videos out there of it, and it's just fucking hilarious because it's just a slap in the face of uh, anyone who bought the 2080s. Uh,
Yeah.
but it's just hilarious at this point.
That's crazy. When's that supposed to come out again? The new one? The new 20 or 3080?
It's slated for September 17th.
God damn.
And correction, the actual price is $699. But that's still fucking cheap compared to the 2080.
Yeah.
The benchmarks just put the 3080 at just a massively superior position.
And it's gonna be an interesting year. It's a good year for gaming because I know yes obviously it's um PlayStation and Xbox have been kind of holding their cards very close to them with regards to their specs and price and all that, and um, leading up until pretty much barely getting ready to do pre-orders right now. And then you said they just announced this graphics card, so it's like, oh, okay. So seems like this holiday season to be a little something for everyone for console, PC, Nintendo. They're doing their own thing.
So I will add to that real quick. So when Sony and Microsoft were bragging about the Xbox and the PS5 respectively, most gaming magazines also were kind of bragging on the solid state drive capability of both consoles, saying that somehow it was going to beat PCs on a performance level. Correct?
Yeah.
And they were doing that quite a lot. But here's the thing: with the advent of the 3080 series, as well as potentially soon a new AMD GPU also be revealed in the near future, the only advantage, or I should say, is that consoles are at this point, because of these new advances on PC, that performance-wise, consoles are basically a cheap PC. Uh, I'm not exaggerating in that respect. They have typically have a cheaper GPU. Their CPUs are not that great. Uh, if the brag point of an Xbox or a PlayStation is a solid state drive, that's not a brag point at all. And with the advent of the current gen technology now coming out within the next couple months, it feels like the consoles are a step behind the PC environment. And on top of that, because most games are now multi-platform, including being on PC, there's almost little to very little reason to get a console at this stage. Consoles did have an advantage early on during the PlayStation 2 generation because it was the platform as well as the Xbox and the GameCube were of decent spec. Then it was a standardized spec. But now we're seeing that PC is basically getting more and more ground and now surpassing both of them. So really, it all comes down to there's no bragging point anymore for consoles as far as I'm concerned. They're very subpar to top end PCs. And even then, my computer, I spent what like $700 on it, and mine will be running from the last gen, and probably be powering through the entirety of the next console generation. I
Yeah.
see no reason to jump to a console personally in anyways.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, it's always been your preference PC over console. I like both. I mean, the console's always gonna have a special place in my heart, and especially with the PlayStation, I've always gone the PlayStation route. Switch is there. Xbox, it's just never appealed to me. But with
I would say this. I think the Switch is in a strange place because the Switch has games that are not multi-platform. Nintendo uh, properties and stuff like that. But the Switch interface is also unique too compared to the Xbox or the PS5. So I think, to me personally, just analyzing that, and I said this before on this chat, the Switch it seems to me like a very awesome complementary system to either one of the other consoles or a PC.
yeah, and I mean, I have them all and between the two. I go back and forth between the PS4 and PC, and uh, uh, I'm curious about the PS5. I mean, that's what Xbox shot themselves in the foot in this current generation. um, they're trying to make something more than a game system. They're trying to make it a huge entertainment thing. You can watch your TV through it. It's practically a computer, but then the PlayStation's like, no, we're a game system. We're not trying to be anything else. We're a game system. And Xbox, their current gen, the Xbox One, it didn't do anywhere near good as expected or could have been. But PlayStation just knocked it out of the park. They continue to knock it out of the park. Um, with Xbox, they're going all out this time, and it's very interesting that they very last minute announced this lesser version because it looks like they did announce the price points for the two different Xboxes and for the Series S, I believe that one's gonna be 499 and then the other one is gonna be 299. So not sure quite of the specs, but obviously it's gonna be a little bit less with regards to the 299, and that just completely came out of nowhere. So
It
everyone's
did.
just kind of looking at Sony and like how are you going to counter this? What's going on in regards to are you going to offer something similar? And
So I think that as a grand scheme of things, as you mentioned that PlayStation strictly keeps to a gaming system, I think that was not the choice on the PlayStation 3 and to some extent the PlayStation 4. Those saw more of a multimedia approach as well to how they do things. They try to reach out to streaming services. Uh, I think they're doing the role reversal because they learned from Nintendo. Nintendo stuck to the gaming platform this entire time, while Xbox and PlayStation moved towards a multimedia approach and varied services and stuff like that, right?
oh yeah, I mean with that's all about the 4K Blu-ray and then the streaming services and all that. And Nintendo, yeah, they stuck to their guns. It's like, no, it's just gonna be a fun little thing. It's gonna have our own little niche market, and I mean, it's paid off. It took a while, but they surpassed Sony, and they've been knocking it out of the park. Um, and it'll be interesting because in addition with Xbox. announcing their two different price points. In addition to that, not too long ago they said that they were getting rid of like their subscription service, but then now they came out with saying that they're gonna do this discounted version of their subscription service, where it's basically gonna be 25 bucks a month for the Xbox Game Pass, and in addition to that, it's gonna also have the EA plays and the come with that included. So that's kind of crazy that that's going to be included. So like Xbox is really pulling all the punches in regards to this current next
Wait,
gen.
discounted though if it was revealed at the full price on launch?
The what?
Okay, so you mentioned a discounted price, right?
Yeah.
But the phrase discounted price
Oh,
only applies if it comes out at full price and then later becomes a reducted price. Reducted price.
because I believe well the price is going to be 24.99 up. I'm not sure if it's like a discounted promotional price that's to be determined, but that looks like that's going to be like the regular subscription service. Because before they had, I think it was like 60 bucks a year, and then but I'm not sure if they're going to have like a yearly subscription or if it's only going to be a monthly subscription with this. So we'll see. And but for the time, it looks like Xbox has put their cards on the table. So now it's up to a waiting game for PlayStation because they haven't really announced their price points yet, nor when they can or going to be offering pre-orders. So
I want to say one thing about subscription. I never quite understood the point of subscription services for general basic access to multiplayer games on networks. The reason being I'm saying that is in this modern day and age, a vast majority of games are hosted not on Microsoft servers. They're hosted on the company's own servers. Okay, so why are we still paying 20 cents a month when really at the most you're only paying $5 a month to because the people say, oh, it's to pay for the infrastructure to keep things running. I'm like, no, no, like no, dude, the infrastructure you're referring to is something that Microsoft already takes care of regardless. Everything else, games, they have their own setup and their own services and their own servers and stuff like that, which they take care of on their own that are not hosted by Microsoft in any form or fashion. So why am I paying 20 cents a month for such a service? You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Same thing with PlayStation. Uh,
yeah.
PlayStation does the same thing, or Sony, and Sony's notorious for that too. I mean, they're just fucking horrible. I have never just been a fan of having to subscribe to a service to use a basic multiplayer function when compared to say PC, you just don't because you have to pay for the internet, pay for the service, right, and then pay potentially for any subscriptions that the game may have, right? That's three times, three times you're paying the price point on Steam, for example, right? Install it on a computer, so you're paying for the internet, and then if you have to pay for the subscription on the other service itself, like the game service, not the host service.
Yeah.
It it just does not make a lot of sense on a realistic standpoint. You know, especially with things how it costs because operating costs are now lower than ever before. Things are cheaper to maintain. So why are we still paying for 2005 prices when we should be moving forward?
I don't know. We'll see what happens with the next gen, and again, looks like Xbox is coming out with a not as expensive rate. I don't know. We'll see. But PlayStation is still up in the air with what they're gonna do. I put in a not a request, but basically a thing to see if I can get a pre-order for the PlayStation 5. I mean,
Request has been authorized.
uh, I'm still gonna try and get it. I'm still gonna try and get it at launch, and then obviously there's probably gonna be some type of subscription service and all that for like the yearly online services. I'm still gonna do it, and I'm diehard Sony, so if and when I do get it, whether it's this holiday season or whenever I get my hands on it, there will be some type of unboxing video for the channel. Um, but yeah, it's going to be a good holiday season for gaming this year and going forward, just with technology and the advances. So looking
You're being
forward.
awfully quiet, Val.
I'm just listening.
Just listening. Hmm.
What?
Well,
Y'all are talking about things that I'm not really too sure about because I don't know much about, so I'm trying to learn by what you're saying. So that's why I haven't said anything. That I can
hmm.
also just Google it. It's
Oh,
just better hearing it from y'all.
no, that's cool. But I would imagine, or like, do you plan on getting the PS5 at some point, Val?
Um, I want to say yes, but it wouldn't be this first wave.
Mm.
Probably be the next version of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've learned from Nintendo Switch not just to flat out buy right away
Mm.
because you have to deal with like if there's bugs or
Yeah.
because it's like the new stuff, so there's gonna probably be some tweaking that needs to be done. So, but I do plan on getting it as much as I love my PS4. I do like I like the way the PlayStation 5 look.
Yeah.
But I still don't know how I feel about the whole money of like the $70 games for the PlayStation. It's like getting more expensive. I have to start buying used or something. I mean, unless they decided to change that. But I
Yeah.
don't
We'll see. I know, yeah, the current gen they're trying to put a stop to, or more for, yeah, selling used games, try to put GameStop under, but then that stopped right away. So hopefully that's still going to be an outlet for consoles. But time will tell. We'll see what happens this holiday season. We're already in September, so again, if I can lock that pre-order, I'll let you guys know. And
Speaking of hardware, one last thing, and I had just discovered this. But apparently Henry Cavill had built his own rig, and the man is a fucking nerd through and through. Like he
No, why
paint
would you do this? We just
he
got
paint
off this.
he paints his own Warhammer miniatures, right? And apparently he plays Adeptus Custodes, and he also I just watched a video where he also built his own machine. He used a 2080, Ti, which he probably slightly regrets, but it's just a drop in the bucket for him. But still, and the man is literally the people's nerd. I mean, there's Vin Diesel, but he goes along the lines of D&D, whereas Henry Cavill tends to more go into PC and tabletop gaming, which is pretty fucking sweet. But anyways, moving on.
Please, I can't handle this.
Listen here,
No.
you're gonna have to fucking handle this shit here because we're covering this material. Either you get along with it, or you see your way the hell out.
I'm not going against it. I'm just saying I just blew like went off on it like before we started recording this when you were talking about it. I was just like sexiest man alive, heard it there, girl. You want to do this again? I don't want to do this again. I have something I have to cover here, damn it. Even though he's very chiseled and very handsome. Okay, so I had a conversation about like who was like more attractive, Jason Momoa or Henry Cavill. I'm sorry, Henry Cavill's the gentleman chiseled, perfect Superman, and then Jason Momoa is the bad bad boy, like I don't know. Okay, anyways, back to holiday specials. Actually, it's not really a holiday because come September 18th, if
Uh-huh.
I'm not mistaken, um, I pre-ordered from GameStop, but Nintendo Super Mario is celebrating its 35-year anniversary. So I had pre-ordered or yeah, pre-ordered
Yeah.
two of them, which is the Super Mario 3D All-Stars and the Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Mm.
Now, this for it covers everything, like not everything per se, but um it's gonna have like the Super Mario. You're looking at like the Super Mario's 3D, um, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, and one bundle, and of course the other one is the 3D World and Bowser's Fury. I guess that's like takes place
Mm.
after 3D, Mario 3D, and it's all for the Switch. And I'm super excited because I haven't really a Mario Sunshine is included in that,
Mm.
and I think the 3D, if I'm not mistaken,
And,
but it's
or
like a
the
bundle pack.
yeah, the 3D bundle, right? Uh,
Mhm.
that is really cool because they are upscaling to HDR. Now, the only downside I think, which some people are complaining about, is that the games were not remasters in any way, but that's
But
okay.
honestly, I'm okay with that. I really am. Like some, I mean, I would love to see maybe Mario 64 remastered. Because I remember on my well, the 3D didn't look as not 3D the DS version or 3DS
Mm.
didn't look as boxy as it did on like the N64.
No.
But the fact is, getting that much as a bundle, I mean, yeah, it's a bundle. I'm excited because I've never played Mario Sunshine ever. And I haven't really got to experience the Mario Galaxy. And I think it's the second one that's part of it, unless
Uh,
it's the first one. I can't I don't really can't really answer that one, but I'm just super excited because I love Mario. I mean, maybe I'll complete one of them. Unless if I don't, Peach is gonna still be in that damn castle somewhere. I don't know.
yeah, keep us up to date with that. It sounds like it's gonna be fun. I know one of my other friends was talking about the bundle that he was able to get his hands on one of the pre-orders that apparently that's a very hot commodity for the Switch right now.
Yes, I had to put down $5 to save my copy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so or both of them.
Mm.
So I was like, because I know that was gonna sell quick.
And you stream from the Twitch or from like YouTube or Twitch, or is that something that that's not available on the Switch?
I think well, the Switch Lite, I'm not too sure,
Mm.
but I think you can like with um the other one,
Mm.
but it might have. I don't think it would be through YouTube. It might be Twitch related. I think they're primary Twitch, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Hmm.
but going about it, I haven't tried to stream, but
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into it. I myself, I just started with the Twitch, so I'm still trying to get familiar with it a little bit more. But I like what we do with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just I normally just leave it up to you guys to set it up.
That's cool. Yeah, yeah, definitely keep us up to date with the Mario. It should be a lot of fun. As you said, it was two different games with the bundles, correct? Or two different bundles.
Hmm. Yes, you got
Yeah.
the 3D world with Bowser Fury, and then you have the Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Mm.
So,
Sunshine, Galaxy, Mario 64, and Mario World,
mhm.
which honestly is an amazing collection. So,
Yes.
Not too
I
now,
shabby.
just need to I just need to get the Odyssey, Mario Odyssey again,
Mm.
cuz I haven't unlocked the T-Rex. Like I saw it, but also you can have Mario and a sombrero.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's
Donnie seemed to really like playing that when we had it.
uh
So it's more kid-friendly games. You know, going back to the Mario, I have not Mario, Luigi's 3D Mansion,
uh
and I was excited about it when I got it, but I kind of dulled out pretty quick. I didn't expect it. Like I thought I might have better attention to it, but it's
uh
not as kind of dull. Maybe I just need to get back into it. I don't know. I just think that was just a random thought. Sorry, but yeah, that one is just a lot of work. I think
Mhm.
so. That's all I have today.
No worries. Um, anything else? Yes,
no,
no?
Ring.
no,
I'm
I
Um,
think that
surprised Ring doesn't have anything else. He took up most of the stream.
I know, right?
Um, but yeah, I think that'll call it for now. But I think that was a good session. But yes, again, if you're listening, no hard feelings. We'll see you when we see you, and looking forward to gaming with you whenever you're around. And
Settle up, settle up.
uh, stay tuned for this coming Tuesday as we start the Division 2 up and running on Tuesdays and Thursdays around same time. I'm gonna figure. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, we're all good here. If you like what you see, be sure you like, share, and subscribe. We'll be up and running with Twitch with our streaming, YouTube with our uploads. Um, Let me see if nothing else. But yes, I'm obviously 2003. I'm here with Ringleader 064
Oh, one and only.
and Valkyrie Grinder.
Settle up.
Settle down. But
No.
uh, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.